Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees, that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine, irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 406th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. Here on Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Cremond, and I'll be host once again in this weekly series of workshops ongoing continuously for the last 405 weeks. And once again, we are joined with members and support members of the Universal Council who will be presenting today's program, which I will get into right away here. And I believe Shweta is going to give us an introduction today.
Yes, thank you, my dear. All the love always. And hello, dear beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So welcome. In India, we say when we welcome somebody, we say Suswagatam into the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome into the beautiful energy and the totality of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome, welcome into the beautiful energy of the universal soul. All we are, all souls in existence, dear one. All in love, all in peace, all in abundance. This is the wish. If we wish for this, if we wish for peace, peace is here. So, as our beautiful teacher, Sriman Mehran Mr. M. Keshe says that if you wish for peace, peace is here. So beautiful. And of course, and this is the time now to move forward and follow, understand the universal work of the universe and how to merge with the universe. This is the time now. And it's time for change, of course. So, my dear, beautiful soul, prepare for the change. Be the change. Be, as we say, we are here to serve, dear, beautiful soul. So, thank you. Thank you for always being here, beautiful souls. It's lots of love in your heart, lots of peace, lots of abundance for all that is in existence. Thank you so much. Thank you. Salam, namaste, salute.
Sorry, I had to back up there a bit. Here we go.
Okay, one of the main reasons the Keshe Foundation is here, of course, is to make a peaceful man out of the man. And obviously, we all need to participate in this more and more. But there is a document called the World Peace Treaty, which you can sign with a pen or you can sign with the pen in your soul, as I understand it. And again, we all think we're quite peaceful. I mean, even Mr. Keshe in one of the workshops said 99% of us have already become peaceful. So what is the need for all this if we have? But I think it goes a little bit deeper. As we know and as we've discovered within the Keshe Foundation, it's not only peace between, let's say, humans, but it's peace between all the other entities on this planet or what's been formed into the love of creation. And we still have some issues with some of the vertical people like the wheat, some of the horizontal people like the cows, but technology is here to help address that as well. As we know with the One Nation Network, they're going to be emitting fields of peace. It's going to be a pulse across this planet. So subliminally or in the field dimension, which the soul will pick up, will start to move in that direction, which is closer to the creator. As we know, we're made in the image of the creator, but the creator doesn't kill and destroy anything for the creator to exist and enjoy the creation. And this is the path we're heading on. And of course, the World Peace Treaty you can sign with a pen. You can sign, as I said, with the pen of your soul, but it is an actual document. And perhaps you're creating a reactor or even a wish by endorsing this document. This is one that the world leaders will sign. But again, the Keshe Foundation doesn't collect them, and they don't check and see how peaceful everyone is becoming, or so on and so forth. And you get a good grade if you're more peaceful, or a bad grade if you're not. Again, this is between you and your soul. And we're just learning a bit more about peace. But this is the ethos of the universe, as opposed to some of the things we see, and aliens are doing this or doing that. But it's a very peaceful environment, as I understand it. Although now with the teachings of the Keshe Foundation, we know that perhaps some of these UFOs actually do pick up people. Again, I'm sure the people agree to that, and he's mentioned this. But anyway, the whole idea is about making a peaceful man out of the man. And through your wish, just by signing that World Peace Treaty, I think you start that whole process. And again, the soul is very peaceful, but the soul of physicality has, because of the fields on this planet, has not allowed it to totally exist in a peaceful dimension. It has to take energies that are not available, and those energies are stolen from other entities. And this is what I think the dimension we're moving into. And of course, as these fields come into play, as these units start to go across this planet, I think more and more of us will become more peaceful. Although, as Mr. Keshe said, we're still going to work with agriculture, because people do like to eat, and water as well. People like to have water. So again, this is a whole progressive process, but this is the World Peace Treaty. I never realized the universe was peaceful. I like the solar system, although the sun has many eruptions as we see, but some of those eruptions are actually for our benefit. I never understood. But overall, it's a peaceful environment. And this is one of the reasons man has not been able to join with the universal community in a more realistic way, even though we're part of the universal community. It's almost like having an unruly dog or something that continues to bite people and do some things. So you have to sort of put him out in the garden until the visitors leave and can come back in. But this is the understanding that we're not as peaceful as we think we are. And of course, as I said, the game called enlightenment will also help us to, or help us to teach ourselves to become more peaceful. And maybe by playing that game, we'll start to see that maybe we've made some wrong decisions we thought were peaceful decisions, and this will lead us to an enlightenment. And of course, as Mr. Keshe said, he's here just to sort of do the rough cutout and some maybe a little bit of filing, but this daughter of Mitra will come, and the daughter of Mitra, again, whether this is in the energy dimension, will have a lot to teach us about becoming that peaceful entity that we were actually chosen to be. But because we've wound up here with a shortage of fields, the greed, the stealing energies from others by consuming them has been part of our ethos, and no one has really called us on this other than if we kill another human being. So it goes much deeper, that all life, once it's created and has a soul, becomes sacrosanct, and we have to respect it. And this will be the ethos on this planet and across the universe. And then, of course, we go to this idea of the ethos of Mitra. It's not only taking other entities and taking their energies, but we can do this in our thoughts and in our words, and of course in our actions as well. But I think creating a peaceful environment inside the reactor of yourself by thinking and speaking good adds to this elevation or enlightenment. But all of the products within the Keshe Foundation store and all the systems are to try and bring man into a peaceful, balanced condition. So this is a start. We're bringing the world peace through our wishes. We can create the dome of peace, as you'll hear later, And we can also do some things as part of the Dome of Peace of just releasing GANS waters with good intentions into the environment, which again will help bring a balance. But I think there's more things going on, as he said, the flares and the other things, the 3I that's coming in, and then of course this pulsating system or network called the One Nation Network, which will deliver fields of peace and fields that we all need fields. And as we heard, you need fields, you'll be given fields. And this will become, as he said in that Ed's video in the 617 workshop, this will become the occupation of the man, transmuting of fields, which we never understood we could fully live this way, even though we do understand that 80% of our energy we're already transmuting. So we're just 20% short, which gets us into this sort of backward position. And this treaty is just an acknowledgement that we want to move in that direction, closer to the creator. And the systems that are being introduced and the energies that are being introduced will help us move closer in that position, away from war and destruction and more into caring and serving and kindness and all the better aspects of our true nature. So again, it's between you and your soul. You sign it, you start the process, you create the reactor. You can also display the World Peace Treaty. But this is the exact document that the world leaders will sign, the religious leaders will sign as they pledge their religions, their nations to peace. And again, this is a process. It's not just because you endorse the document. I think that's just the step one. And then you move deeper in it as you become more enlightened and you see maybe some of the things within your own structure are not as peaceful as perhaps we thought. So welcome to the world of peace. And of course, as we know, the conditions on this planet have been really backwards. And now we're sort of turning that around with different energies that are being introduced. And you have an opportunity, again, to join us. We'll hear later to create this through your energies or to support the One Nation Network, which will be a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week pulsing and creating this mesh network where everyone will be feeling, even though maybe they don't move in that direction initially, these pulses will start to move and bring a balance into all of us. So we have an opportunity to bring peace. As Mr. Keshe said, you've all asked for peace. Now peace is on the table. It's called the One Nation Network. So thank you for listening. Anyone else want to add about this World Peace Treaty, please? Or we'll go to the next slide.
Thank you, Mark. It's Dean here. I'd like to say something about this, the World Peace Treaty, as usual. So, as we see this, the graphic on the pixelated screen that we are viewing through our amino acid of a small spectrum of energies that are contained within the structure of the man, and as we look with our eyes to visualize and construct this message to our soul, which is always present, and to the physical side of the body, and maybe also the soul of physicality being the heart sort of condition. So the World Peace Treaty, we as citizens of the earth from this moment on accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this, we all agree and swear with our nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, body and soul. I think that World Peace Treaty pretty much sums up and covers most of the totality of the interactions that we experience on planet Earth and beyond. Because when you look at some of those words, you have You have the soul as the last word, and that encompasses, as we know, the totality of creation, everything. So within this document, you have the world, you have the soul, you have the treaty, you have the peace. And on the left-hand side, it says united in peace. United in peace. So that means we all come together as one in a peaceful environmental condition. And then it's one nation, one planet, one race. Now, I know some people, when we say one race, they take it the wrong way. But it's meant we're humanity. It's one group of souls, beings in physicality, acting as one. Because we need this in this moment. We need to take away the possibilities of a few controlling everything and creating conditions that are not a group situation. Humanity has to stand on its own feet together in a peaceful way to conduct itself within the universal family condition. And it's time for us to mature into this. We cannot accept and allow a small group to control and dictate the way that we as a civilization, as humanity, understand the cosmos. These teachings are bringing us this world peace treaty within our soul, within our very being, within everything that we are. And we have to realize that as a group consciousness, as a soul, as if you wish to be in physicality so much, you have to realize that you are responsible for your thoughts, actions, and words. Because they resonate and they don't stop. They don't just stop at a barrier of, let's say, the barrier of your brain. Because those thoughts and intentions, they carry forward, they keep going, they don't stop. And there's various instruments within the universal community where they view and listen and absorb all these interactions, trillions of them in every moment, every single moment. And so for us to become peaceful is very, very, I'm sure many of us, as it was spoken about earlier, are already peaceful. But are we truly peaceful within the whole structure? Is it part of us or all of us? And we need to come together as humanity, as the souls of the created, and we're all part of the creation. We need to come together collectively. And this is what the Universal Council does every 3 hours and does every evening at 9 p.m. As you know, they come together, they connect the souls, they connect together, and they start making intentions and wishes, connecting the souls. If you wish to connect the physical side of it, then yes, you can put you can sign this on a piece of paper and display it wherever it, you feel that it would be seen by others to confirm your existence and to confirm your ethos of your confirmation of your existence, which is a very big and beautiful thing to do. On the other hand, you can sign it with your soul. You can sign it right now. You can just sign it with a thought. You can place your name, your signature, the date, whichever date that you feel, maybe the date of your birthday, maybe another date, maybe from this very moment that you sense and feel the connection to be a peaceful person, a peaceful soul present. And maybe this is the moment that you sign it, and the position held is you've now elevated. What is your new position? What is the position that you hold in this very moment? Is it one of physicality, where you look out at things and everything outside of you is a problem? Or do you look within inside yourself and you understand that you're unlimited? And then the position held, where do you go? Do you go into physical, or do you go into the centralized energy, the soul aspect, and realize that you are, as it's spoken about in the introduction, you are a star. You're part of the universal community. You always have been. It's just the limitations of the physical body and the brain thinking tick-tock in the looking outside of itself. Come back within, show your essence and your beauty, and witness and sign this document of the of the physical body and the soul of the man to bring peace for all the families and the family, the one family, the family of and you can lay many names on this, but we will say the soul family, being present in the moment and being a peaceful soul that wishes and needs to show itself in the pure essence of creation, which is what you really are. So the World Peace Treaty is, as it's been spoken about by Mark and many others, is an incredibly important document for you to connect with, connect your field energy strength with this document, and you're signing your soul, you're signing your physicality, but you're signing your soul to become peaceful. That mere intention connects you to all the other peaceful souls. And outside of planet Earth, this is countless numbers. And then you connect, then we connect, and then we'll become peaceful and we operate and function in a different way. And those ripples that we create will be a lot more calm and a lot more beneficial in the presence of however you wish to manifest yourself. So the World Peace Treaty. We are as citizens of the earth from this moment on, except to lay down all tools of aggression and war. I shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this, we, or I, all agree and swear with my, and you can delete this as appropriate, but nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, bodies and souls, and be part of the change. We know that in a very short period of time there's going to be a very beautiful celebration. Be part of the celebration. Let your soul guide you to the full beauty of being present in the moment. Thank you all. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, this is like a wish, the starting of a wish. When you make a wish, obviously you don't have whatever you're wishing for or want to see manifest because you wouldn't be making the wish. So we're not 100% peaceful, even though we think we probably are. But this is sort of a starting a wish process. And you may see the completion of this in a period of time. But again, between you and your soul to become more peaceful. Mr. Keshe spent a few minutes on highlighting how much destruction that man has done to other men due to the greed and the fighting for water and other things. I think he said, I know it's been mentioned before, in the last 3,000 years, 5,000 wars on this planet, but he also went into actual numbers of how many other human beings in the last centuries or so. I think he named 1 billion people have been lost to this. So we're not quite peaceful, and certainly the universal community is not willing to accept a very aggressive entities that have this sort of behavior. So this is the start of a wish between you and your soul to become more peaceful, as I see it. Thank you, Dean, too. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, very good. Let's move to the next position here. Mark talked about transmutation. This is, and I'll play an excerpt from the last 617th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And this is about the transmutation test.
It's you who have to create that emotion. In a way, you're sitting in a seat of transmutation for past hour or so, but how many of you consciously or unconsciously have made a move, been somewhere. And is it coincidental, or is it have we managed to bring you to the point of transmutation by dimension of enlightenment? You feel the emotion or intention, and you carry on to deliver that. We are like the captains who delivered your soul to the position. Now you're in charge. And we give you every tool. If the knowledge seekers, if you understand the gift we have given you as the knowledge and as the field energies to support you to get to that, you will be enlightened to understand the process of the creation. And once you're enlightened, it's not just walking, you'll jump, you'll dance and enjoy the presence of the Creator's magnetic field as the interaction of the soul of you becomes that beach, and the field strength of the plasma of the Creator becomes that ocean, that the field strength of your emotion in interaction creates the manifestation of confirmation of existence. My soul interact with soul, that in that interaction leads to manifestation of your physicality. I made man in the image of myself because it comes from the field strength of my soul.
Well, you mentioned earlier about this idea of compression or putting pressure on our attendees here in the Zoom from the fields. Is that part of
we are making it available?
Like
we are not pressurizing. We are making it available. If you are man of peace for what we've done, you pick it up. I was looking at the graph data which has come from our center. How you lot have been in the first, what we call 1 hour and 8 minutes of this session is very interesting. How far you have moved in the dimension of physicality towards this energy side. We have a line, as you all remember. The left of the line is physical side. The right of the line is the energy side. And now the whole thing has shifted to the right. Clearly, since we have a little bit on the soul side, on the left side, which means we are all working on energy. It means we are getting our message to you in the dimension of the soul. So let's see what happens to the end of the day. What changes we'll see in the dimension of energy field.
Okay, that's our excerpt about the transmutation.
And again, I had some experiences. Usually I take some notes during the workshop, and I try to pay pretty close attention to what Mr. Keshe is saying, but I kept drifting off into these daydreams. I was swimming with the whales, and then I was at my sister's house, and then I did something else, and I didn't realize why I wasn't paying attention like I normally do. But then at the end, when Mr. Keshe announced what he just said about we put you in the transmutation seat consciously or unconsciously, apparently my soul had picked up something there and was sort of going off in these little daydreams, which is a small type of transmutation, but that was my experience. I don't know if anyone else moved in the workshop. I was thinking of you, Rick, when you sometimes in the transmutation sessions, you say your physicality keeps sort of drawing you or drawing your attention away. But I sort of had these little daydreams, a few of them, maybe more than a few. And I was wondering why I wasn't concentrating the way I normally do. So then I realized they created some sort of condition, either subconsciously, the soul picked it up and decided to play for a few minutes. That was my experience in the last workshop.
Mark, I also want to add that yes, I have all the same experiences. Um, when Sriman Mehranji, our beautiful teacher in Keshe, was teaching in last many sessions, I have this experience that I sometimes fell asleep and like a dream, or sometimes in a awake position also. Even he was teaching, I fe- I am in a drawing. I draw something that is so you know so the world I wanted to see, and then a song, a beautiful song, a romantic song, a peaceful song comes in my mind, and I like swim in the song, and that is and that creates that enhances my creativity more, and like I draw many drawings and paintings in that particular teaching. So but in the creation, not in the manifestation, but I have this whole idea of what I have to draw, what I have to sketch, what I have to stitch, like that. So this is so beautiful experiences we are having, and really, yes, thank you for this.
Thank you, Shweta.
Yeah. Speaking of dreaming, I had a very strange experience that you mentioned that I talked about having drifting away during the transmutation session and finding yourself just not focusing. And it could be maybe that's the soul traveling. But for me, in the last transmutation session, I had a very vivid experience where I thought I was, I wasn't sleeping, but I was sort of in that dream state, I guess. And all of a sudden, I had the impression very strongly that there was a deer jumping through my window, and right close to where I'm doing this transmutation test, and it was so strong that I immediately leaped up and yelled, "No!" Like at the top of my voice. The neighbors probably could have heard it, just involuntarily, because it was coming through, smashing my window, and is about to jump into my room. And it was very powerful. But it's funny how these little sort of, I think the physicality takes us on these daydream side trips, or perhaps the soul's involved, but one way or another, it was a very, probably the most vivid dream that I've ever had, where I've just exclaimed out. I've had a few others where I've yelled in my sleep something because of something like that going on, but very powerful. I'm still wondering about what that was all about.
We're just starting to unravel this mystery of the matter state of the entity to its energies. And this is that dimension of energy that we all operate in. We're operating in both, but we've never really acknowledged the energy side. And that's what I think the future teachings are heading into. And again, with systems and devices to support the whole process till we learn to do it on our own. As he said, you don't need any systems, but we certainly are receiving a lot of support to help bring this and of course test the systems. That's a nice story, Rick. Thank you, Shweta, for sharing.
Oh, thank you too, my dear. Thank you, beautiful. Beautifully shared the stories. Really beautiful.
All right. Well, perhaps we can move to the next part, which is the wishes. And I'll remind our audience we'll have a full minute of silence after each wish in order for you to implement the wish and contemplate the insight in each wish. Okay, let me see. We begin with Moshfek. No, wait a minute. Where's my first wish here? That was it. Moshfek, I believe.
Yeah. We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the planet to receive the offerings of the universal community, and also elevate our guests to receive what we must learn to offer as a host.
Hello. We, the Universal Council, give from our souls collectively for peace in the world and acceptance of the new plasma technology by the leaders.
We, the Universal Council, give from our field strengths to empower the world leaders to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nations to a permanent and everlasting peace on this planet. And our wish is our command, and we are present.
We, the Universal Council, share our unconditional love with Mr. Keshe to protect him with the love of the Creator. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, wish for financial support, all work for the Keshe Foundation and Mark Ray Corp to be distributed accordingly as one planet, one nation, one race. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the soul of the universal visitors to understand the transmutation of the soul, while humanity learns from the visitors the use of the plasma cosmic technology, providing mutual benefits and satisfaction to all of us.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls to all souls in existence to elevate in the level of understanding the ethos of Mitra, universal love, living life as a peaceful being, respecting all life and living equal. Our wish is our command. We are present.
Okay, thank you, Universal Council, for those wishes. And I'd just like to bring up something that's come to my attention that's occurring. In fact, something very important that's just occurred 15 minutes ago when we were talking about the peace treaty. There was on CNN, they just posted 15 minutes ago, live updates that Ukraine agrees to the peace proposal, according to US officials. There's still a few things to be worked out, but they have agreed to peace in spite of all that is happening. And
Claps.
that's amazing that happened while we were talking about the peace treaty.
Clap.
That CNN brought it out. Then there's some other channels that are also putting out that information. So how about that?
Beautiful.
As Mr. Keshe said, as these networks go into action and as they start to pulse this peace fields, he said they're going to start looking at the news. So maybe this was one of the first things. I know those units, a few of them have already been out for test. So perhaps we're already seeing something in the news.
Well, certainly the efforts of many people on the planet toward peace, and the efforts of the Universal Council over many years toward that goal as well. Perhaps the peace can be more rapidly attained in individual cases of conflicts and violence on our planet. Maybe they'll be resolved faster than they have been in the past, and that whole process handles itself without the violence that occurs. Well, we can certainly hope for that. All right, let's move to our next section here, which is the connection between souls. And Dean, if you'd like to go ahead, I see your name is up in stars here.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, okay. So we all know that this particular aspect of the presentation. So we're joining the soul of man with the soul of physicality by speaking these words in this moment. And I love you, my soul. I live you, and I love with you, and I adore you. By speaking these words, by manifesting these words, by aligning those, the ethos of the foundation, when we think, speak, and act in a certain way, we are creating that star formation within inside our structure that enlightens the soul, that unites us and sends a beacon, a pulse out from our very being into the ethos, into the world. And there are no barriers. There's no limitation. So this you're starting to emanate a pulse of peace across the universe. And as Rick was just pointing out there, it's starting to have an effect, a plasmatic condition, a ripple effect, a condition where all the knowledge seekers and the beautiful foundation and all its teachings have manifested, and along with many others, do many other beautiful things. It's not just the foundation, have come together and creating a field strength of compassion, love, joy, and happiness that is changing the very aspect of things. This particular slide we have on the screen right now, by joining the soul of the man with the soul of physicality. So we really are creating a condition where, because we are unifying, the thought process with the soul of the man. So we're bringing together the physical side with the non-tangible, the energy pack of the soul. We all know that the soul has a completely different life. It enjoys another dimension. And it has a physical side as well, linked to very many different aspects of, the planet or wherever it's present. And we know that with the physical side of things, when we learn to breathe and do certain things, we can transmute and transmute our energies to a different position, and we can become even more peaceful. Because I know there's many layers to this. There always is. It's like peeling an onion. When you start, you start to peel back, and you get deeper and deeper and deeper until you get into the soul aspect. You know, that inner core, that place of real enlightenment, where there's no war. There can be no war because it's not even known of. And we're reaching that now because these words are being transmuted and I know transcribed and given to across the whole planet. The soul of the man, the soul of all created creatures. Remember, it's not just man. There are countless trillions of other souls that are present, and we all know none are higher and none are lower. And we have to start to appreciate that and respect that, respect one another for the aspect of being present in a physical and on a soul dimension. So this, I love you, my soul. I live you and I love with you, and I do adore you. When you really say these words with true intention, your field strength will amplify and create the most wonderful, beautiful environment around you. And it doesn't matter where you are or what you're presently doing. If you keep him busy, if you just spend a small moment, a millisecond, just to transmit, connect, and then you send out that thread of connection, and it's present always, and then you're connected to it. And so this is this part of the thing. So and you will find out that if you speak these words, this manifestation, like many other manifestations, many people speak many beautiful words, but this particular one was given to us by Mr. Keshe. And I know it has a great significance, and it has a beautiful meaning, and it will connect you with, the soul of man with the soul of physicality, and will bring about a wonderful condition, and you will sense it and feel it. The more you do it, the more you build up the field strength. It's like the layers of the onion. The more that you peel it back, the more you say it, the more intention you give to it, the more you do it, you build up a field strength, and it starts getting bigger and bigger. And you'll find then that you will interact with much more of a much more peaceful environment. So that's what I've felt and what I've sensed since I've been speaking these words. Thank you, Rick. I don't know if we can move on to the next slide now. So this part is the soul connection. And as we've just been speaking those words, we're going, this is an Englishman speaking these words. And I know that the beautiful souls that are present in physicality that have done many beautiful things all across the nations. Many of us, have this language where we speak a particular language, and part of the language on planet Earth is in English. None higher, none lower. Certainly not with the English language, and we use this as a way to communicate. So I'm expressing my intentions through my voice, through my breath, through my manifestation of speaking the words. And I would like to make a soul connection. So on the non-tangible, the centralized energy side of the part and the structure that's present within all of us. And I speak to you on a soul level now. And by doing this, you can do it in many different ways. There's many ways to create this thread. You can breathe deeply. You can inhale through your, through your nose, and exhale through your mouth, and do it gently. And you've tried to, match your rhythm of your breathing. This is one small aspect. There's many ways to do this, but try to match your breathing with the pulse and see what you create. So the more you do it, the more you realize you become more peaceful, that your pulse will lower, and become less and less and less. So the ripple effect, is it gets smaller. The pulse gets more and more subtle, and it's not such a big boom, boom, and this is where we become peaceful. And this is the soul connection. So we will imagine being present with another soul. So we will position ourselves with our intentions to give unconditionally to another soul or group of souls or to the totality. This is for you to choose. And so we will give this, I think we'll give this 1 minute and see if you can connect in this minute, and bring about a wonderful condition of touching the soul and see how it feels. And we will start from now. Thank you. Thank you for being present in that moment. Hopefully, in fact, I know that you have created a field strength of intention with the souls that you connected to. This energy has reached and has connected to the other soul. And remember, this soul can be in any time, place, and position. We always look towards the physical. We all do. I do it myself. We all do this. However, we're much, much more than this. And in the teachings, we have this condition where, it's been taught many times that the physicality is a mere illusion jacket for a short period of time. And the teachings of the foundation and the plasma balancing enabling us to, if we wish, to be present in the physicality a little bit longer, or as long as we need. However, the soul aspect, that energy transfer, that momentum that pulse that we create with our emotions and with our intentions, is part of a huge picture, much more. We imagine being Mr. Keshe for a moment, and having to be, the size of a universe and more, and then coming in and squeezing into a human form. Takes a lot to do this, and to be present in that, when you have this capabilities and knowledge. So to be present, to be able to give this gift of knowledge to humanity. And that is the soul connection. That is the creation point where, the creator comes and is present amongst all of us and is prepared to be incredibly humble to bring about, a change. And we feel this change. And apparently it's just part of it, a small part of it is just taking place. So this soul connection, as you see, has a powerful effect. It's like magnets. When you move one magnet, it moves another one. And so that field strength, those magnetical gravitational fields, do transmit across. They, from an atom to a universe. So they shift planetary systems, they shift galaxies and universes, and they create conditions. Never underestimate, the beauty that's within you, and the unlimited qualities that you possess when used in the right way. You can never use this technology to harm another. You can only use it to give unconditionally. So you connect your soul to give a surplus of energy that you have to another soul, and they will receive it with love and gratitude. And when they receive that, you know, they will get bigger and, you know, start to expand more and create more. And then, you know, that soul will give back to you. And then you give back to that soul. But remember, there are countless trillions of souls, and, you know, numbers that we can't comprehend. So you connect to this structure, you know, the oneness of it all, and you suddenly realize the beauty of the soul connection and what we are part of. And we only, you know, as Mr. Keshe would say, we deny this ourselves, the beauty of it. However, we can connect to it, and many of us do when we sleep and when we go into the systems and when we do these, you know, these soul connection that we're doing right now. So be present, enjoy the moment, and create peace. And thank you for being present in the moment. Okay, Rick, I think we can go to the next one, Rick. Thank you. So this slide is all about connecting the souls once more. It's where we, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and Universal family present, excuse me, at the earth to unifying at the soul level every time. So every time. Every day at 9 PM CET and every 3 hours. To give through our souls to all souls in existence. To elevate in level of understanding the ethos of Mitra, universal love, living life as a peaceful being, respecting all life and living equal. You can do this in many ways. You can speak these words and understand the beauty of it. You can give from your soul to connect at 9 PM CET. And I've said this to within my structure, within myself. I've asked my soul to be present, not just at 9 PM and not just every 3 hours, but to be present in this moment. So on the physical side of myself, yes, I need to connect at 9 PM and every 3 hours. On a soul level, my soul is present with all the other souls, creating the beauty that we are going to experience, we are experiencing in this moment, because every breath we take and every interaction we have should be a cycle of creation. And you are creating in this very moment. So we know that there is going to be a presence very soon of Mitra, and these beautiful souls, and this soul is going to bring an even greater understanding to teach us more and more about the universal knowledge. And we welcome her peace and her beauty, and we know it will be a very wonderful time for humanity once this beautiful being, a soul, is present with us, which will be very soon. Would anybody else like to say something? Please do. Thank you. Okay, it seems like no one else would like to come forward. So I can speak a little bit more. So giving through our souls to all the souls in existence. So let's just take that one part of this aspect that we see here. To give through our souls to all souls in existence. Outside of planet Earth, remember, time does not exist. So all the souls that are present, showing themselves in their manifestations of, it could be in energy dimensions that we would not understand as such. The soul knows, but the physicality of man doesn't always know this in these present moments. But all the souls in existence is a very large number of wonderful souls that will, travel space and time, the space gap between to communicate and be present once more. Vast distances that we think are there is when we use the brain and we use these conditions of thinking in terms of the scientific knowledge that we've possessed or been given on planet Earth. The teachings and the knowledge have expanded and have allowed us to realize, the truth and the beauty that's within us. So we can give for our soul to all the souls. We can connect, and none is higher and none is lower. So when a celestial object comes into our sphere of attention, we realize, we understand the knowledge of the soul. And it means that they're not, another being or another soul in a craft of some condition is not a god. They're not gods. They are universal beings that have some knowledge, and they're on a journey, a condition, they're within an environment, creating and helping species that need help to attain a certain position or not. And we, as Universal Council members, and we, as the soul of man, unite in this moment to create and elevate this species, this humanity, to join the universal community. The presence of Mitra is going to create a condition of wonderful knowledge sharing, way beyond humanity's present knowledge. And it's going to be the most incredible moment. And we are, all of us, I speak for myself, but I'm sure I speak for a few others. We are very honored and incredibly respectful of the time, place, and position that your soul is present in this moment to experience this and to experience this beauty. And we should, all of us, understand, the conditions that have been brought forward for us to experience this. Many souls have given unconditionally to create this for us. And they do so unconditionally. They do so because it's the right thing to do. It's the ethos of the creation from the Creator. And we, as citizens of this earth, and souls of the created, we are all present in the moment to experience this. And so that the ethos of Mitra, universal love, will not harm another, respecting all life and living equal. We're all equal. There's no higher and there's no lower. It's an understanding that, remember, with this knowledge, there will come a point in time, a moment in time where you can manifest anything. And then when you can manifest whatever you wish, what are we going to need that we can possibly argue over, when you can have everything you ever desire or need, and you can create it? This is the process of understanding, and this is where we serve and we give unconditionally, so that all the souls can receive the love and care of the universal knowledge. So that is the living life as a peaceful being, present, and the ethos of the soul of creation, creating a beauty for each and every one of us to receive more and more and more of it, to the point where, what more is there to receive? That's where we're going. That's the part of creation we've, that's the whole elevation of the soul. And we've all experienced it. I think we've all been touched by it a little. And once you're touched by the soul, you realize that many souls will stay in that position. They won't need the physical part of themselves. They will stay present in the energy form. And for those of humanity that wish to be physical and still present in a physical body, that is your wish and your intention, and that everybody has this divine beauty within them to create as they wish. As long as you're sharing and giving in the ethos of Mitra, which is, as I've said before, and you can see it on the screen, is universal love of the condition of giving to receive more. Connecting the souls and receiving a field strength of the emotion of the creator. That ripple effect, that the creator has created, that has given us what we are receiving right now in every aspect of our lives. So, when we connect to the creator just by one thread of intention, you'll find the ethos of Mitra is within that thread, is within that, that part of you that has decided in that moment to be present with this existence through the souls, to all the souls in existence, and to elevate in a level of understanding. And I think as I read the words, I can feel myself understanding a little bit in a different way, a little bit more, a bit less, but maybe more. So the ethos, the ethos of Mitra is, I think, is such an unbelievable pulse of love that humanity will have no choice but to fall in love with the universal condition. And I think that beauty is present in these moments. So thank you all, and this is the Universal Council invite to the Keshe and Universal Family present at the Earth in this moment. So unify your soul, be present. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, thank you, Dean. I've got a video to play from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop, and it's an invitation to be part of the Universal Council. And I'll play that now.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of the Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they served during the 60 years. They are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture, that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mighty Rick. As Shriman Mehran ji, Mr. Keshe, welcome to join the Universal Council members Universal Council support membership, and so much welcome from all over the world this time now to understand the importance of this moment that we are all in. So joining the Universal Council will be elevation of the innocence many are in the level of understanding. At least they can understand, they can awaken in a level that makes them to move, to understand the universal love and to move into the making of the universal community in the way of love, in the path of peace. So, thank you, and you are most welcome, dear beautiful souls from all over the world. So much welcome. We are all universal now. Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear. And also, we invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council, to send to a member of the Universal Council and Universal Council support to send us our question to be answered live each week and or the needs of your community. As everything is elevating, so the Universal Council also, the web page also, the emails also, and I welcome you and in the meantime, now in this moment, I welcome you all to have your say, have a message of love, or want to share something, or have an interaction, have a discussion, or as we are all knowledge seekers, beautiful souls, learning in this process. So much welcome you are in all the Telegram groups of different languages of Keshe Foundation, beautiful souls. Share, interact, teach us. We will also, in this interaction will be beautiful. Welcome to the Telegrams of all languages of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Thank you for joining us as one soul of peace. Thank you. Thank you so much. Salam. Namaste. Salute.
Thank you, Sweta. Next, we have an excerpt from the 617th Knowledge Seekers Workshop about the secret of the transmutation. And this will be about 7 minutes. And I will play that now.
When you transmute from Earth, where there is air, 1G, water, and everything else, and you go on the Mars, the lung is no good. There's no air to breathe. There's no water to drink. There is no food that you can feed yourself. Then the life is zero. But by the order of the preservation of the soul, you will transform yourself into the dimension as the existence that can live on the surface of the moon, inside the moon, in its atmosphere, upper atmosphere, as a dimension of life which can repeat itself, can enjoy, and at the same time can create a wave to, for, and because of, to confirm its existence. Then it goes back to the teaching for past few weeks that emotion is the key to dimension and structure of the manifestation. What emotion did your mother go through that is pressure on your soul has led to the creation of you. Where she's 20% of, the other 80% comes from the universe. And then which part of this 80% is the reflection of the fields of the soul of the Creator. I'm made man in the image of myself. As I create the fields, energy in motion, with the energy which is the mass of the man in the dimension of manifestation. Once we understand this process, once we comprehend the depth of the knowledge in respect to this process, then mankind is ready for transmutation. Does not need university education, does not need no religion, does not need no factor,
but the realization maturity of the man according to his understanding for him to find out his position, his structure, his face, and others. And then once you understand this, the way we always spoke about the beautiful people, that they show different faces according to which energy manifests itself in them, a woman, a man, an animal, kind, and horrible, all comes to one point. What pressure the emotion puts on the soul that leads to creation of manifestation of physicality and impression of the life at that point with that soul. Even the change of behavior. I'm made man in the image of myself, because the image I create is a reflection of the emotion of the fields of my soul. Then you have to decide what field strength wave you create that impression of the emotion has led to its creation. Which means what emotion you need to create within the dimension of the soul of physicality on the soul, and that in the given dimension and position leads to creation or manifestation of its physicality. The interaction of the soul of physicality with the soul of the man leads to creation of emotion. So it's very easy to understand. If you have the emotion which you have created through the soul of physicality and the soul of the man, how you will look, how you will survive, what will be your condition on the surface of Mars, and if you carry with the same thing on the moon, it could be something else. This, as I said, the teaching of now is said to be to bring man to understand the position dimension of the life in the universe. Why we teach this way, in such a compressed way in the past few weeks, is to make man ready if and when, and possibly not with 3i, with another cycle as becoming more cleverer, that they cannot pull wool on our eyes to see them, to understand them, and they are not what we call on their own, taking us for a fool as has been done for thousands of years. When they promised in 2025 it'll be this and that, did this set out by the passengers of the same 3i, let's say 3,000 years ago? That when I come round, the bus comes round, in 3,000 years of human, it will be this and that, and becomes a promised day. They've taken the man for a fool. Because man is a fool, because man never understood the process of creation. Now, would our leaders, if comes to the point of 3i, 4i, 10i, land with us with the confirmation of life from space, would they become our God? Would we become the Bedouins of the South America waiting for the blonde man with the blue eyes to manifest itself? They gave the gold, mankind will give its soul. This is what is the maturity of time, that no one can take no one for fool, does not matter from where, which dimension and position in the universe. If and when knowledge seekers understand this point, then the knowledge seekers have matured to transmute, to transfer, to be able to be at any position, not only in their house, in their life, in this planet, on this universe, and the rest. Understanding the knowledge of creation is the gift to those who have the pleasure, purity of heart, that have managed to unravel the secret. This cannot be taught, cannot be given. I cannot give my soul to your soul for your soul to be enlightened, but I can show you how I was enlightened.
And that completes that excerpt from the last Knowledge Seekers workshop of Thursday, November 20th. And now we're going to have the knowledge and understanding. Yeah. Find our presentation. There we go. And the knowledge and understanding of the 617th Knowledge Seekers Workshop with, I have it listed as, well, Stefania, I don't think she's here right now, and Moshfek and Dean, and open to others. And I will play the traditional background video with music during this process. So please begin when you wish.
Moshfek speaking, representing Bengali language as a Universal Council Support Member. So today we are going to talk a little about this transmutation process that you heard from Mr. Keshe. So let's start with what he was indicating in the last workshop about his final exam at the Queen Mary College, which I think he started talking about even in the Knowledge Seekers workshop before the last. So he had a question and he had a certain answer he needed to come to, and he couldn't, when he encountered it, he couldn't think of a solution. But so once he said, well, I know where I have to go. And then, so he started working backwards from it, how he can get to that result, what would be the next step. And so he will work through all the, integration, differentiation, all the mathematical techniques that's involved to come to the results. And then he eventually solved it. So in our transmutation process, it's not unlike what Mr. Keshe was talking about when he was talking about solving the exam problem. So we have the endpoint, which is what is equivalent to the result that he was in his exam. So endpoint is, let's say we have to transmute to something, or us, or transmuting something else, whatever the case may be. We know what the endpoint would be. And then, when we create an intention, that's the beginning of it. So the intention sets the sets the whole process in motion. And the intention has to be strong and precise. And the rest of it is kind of filling the gaps. What is filling the gaps? These are the emotions. Emotions that we have to manifest or assemble to reach the endpoint, which is the expression. So the creator has an intention to do some creation, and the created is the endpoint. So we have to trust in our ability to create. And this trust is something we have to do it on our own. In a way, there is no magic technique that one can go through. It's like we have the basis of how to assemble the information because we know the endpoint. The endpoint, let's say it's a material manifestation. Well, let's start with something simpler, something that Mr. Keshe talks about, which is when a child is born in the womb of the mother, and the sperm and the egg come together and the cells start forming, and then the soul arrives. The cells that are forming is the beginning of the process. So and the soul of man as it arrives work within the structures that we, or like the plasmas that we call cells, and create the rest of the motion to assemble the rest in between the whole physicality, starting from cells to organs to bone structure, skin, and so forth. And each of these have different fields of gravitational and magnetical. And their succession of, like, from what do you call it, smallest at the cell level to the highest at the complete man level, physicality. So this is how we assemble ourselves. And the limiting condition, or the endpoint here, are the cells. The endpoint is the collection of cells. But this is how the creation process of our body comes into operation. Now, did we forget after we were born that we did it? If we try to remember it, if we can recover this memory of these emotions, can we not do it, not necessarily on planet, not just only on planet Earth, but elsewhere too? We can transmute from one place in the planet to another place, and elsewhere as well. It's the same process that we have already gone through. It's not something new. Now, the cellular level is a condition. It's the limit, is the destination we are reaching. Now, this is one way of specifying, let's say, the endpoint. But if we are to create a material structure, let's say you want to create copper out of field, that's a different kind of endpoint. And the emotion from the soul level to the material copper or iron for that matter, would be different. It won't go through these set of organs that we have in our physicality as we are being created, but we go to something like the inertia of iron and then create the iron plate or something like that. So in doing so, as I said, we have to assemble the magnetical and gravitational. We have to have certain attraction and repulsion to assemble the cells. The cells are adjacent to each other and they have to be assembled in a certain way. But when it comes to the organs, it's a little different. The emotions are at a different scale, both in time and space. Spacing is different, space gap is different. So our feelings about it has to be different. So, and the feeling is both that of expansion, which is magnetical, or joy, and that of sorrow, which is compression, or sorrow, pain, kind of like, it's not, we won't call it pain or torture, it's a balance between joy and sorrow. We need the spacing. So there has to be some gravitational and there has to be magnetical to create that level of spacing. So there is a specific combination of this emotion. It is, with the words that we understand, it's sorrow and happiness or joy. But there are equivalents of this, different field strengths. So it's a collection of different combination of joy and sorrow, or joy and or happiness and sorrow, something like that. And then you kind of create a cluster of these kind of fields, and then eventually the body, we have the body, and we can come out of the mother's womb. And the interesting story is that transmutation story doesn't end there. We can proceed further and do it elsewhere. But just like solving the problem in the exam, from the result, which here we have the same thing. We have the result of physical manifestation as a man. We can, practice it in a more controlled environment, such as planet Earth, where the physical body would be the same wherever we go. So we can start from this end product, which we call our physical body, and then work out the rest of it, feel how that feels, and then we come to our intention, which is the highest level of field strength, and we can connect the, shall we say, the dots. But the better way to say it would be connect with emotion and create, with all the dots connected or all the emotion connected, what we have, inertial field of the whole man. And we have ourselves, our physicality. And I think that would be my way of talking about what Mr. Keshe said. And we would go a little bit into this in the transmutation section, but I will stop here, and if Dean or anyone else wants to add anything further, that would be great.
Thank you, Mosfeq. Thank you very much for your knowledge and wisdom. Thank you for sharing. So I'm looking at the transcript here of the manifestation of Mr. Keshe's words and his teachings. And part of it here says, God's emotion creates a wave, manifests man. Manifests man. So this completion of the cycle of the creation is an understanding of knowledge of creation. When we enjoy the presence of the Creator's magnetic fields, we can walk away from fear. And there's many ways to do this. And I'm not trying to sell things here. However, the foundation is creating environments through certain products that bring this balance and bring this condition, selling and distributing tools that will bring about this change. It's creating emotions in the right way. And this collectively is changing the behavior aspects of humanity. Remember, we are affected by the fields of the creation by about 80% of the physical body. And then the other aspect, the 20%, where we take this, this energy from the foods and the amino acids of the planet, create a certain dimension of fields. We have to understand that the magnetic fields, the solar flares and things, have a great influence on humanity. And these solar flares at the moment are creating in and around and with the souls that are present. And we spoke about a very wonderful, incredible soul that is present now. And that soul has universal beauty and essence, and is going to share this with the whole of humanity. You're going to feel it. This creation point is going to expand and encompass every aspect of being present in the moment. And you can sense these fields. Many of the knowledge seekers have been in the systems, and they've felt the fields of tremendous fields of connection through the soul. The shift is definitely happening. It's happened. This this universal love, this binding together of the fields of knowledge, of taking us past, away from the past. What's gone is gone. We're now enhancing and bringing forward knowledges to take. In fact, that's the wrong word. To receive the Creator's love, and it will affect the auras of each and every one of us. We all have an aura, and these auras are the same whether it's the aura of the man or of a planet or of a different structure. We've just come to understand some knowledge that those points of color are reflecting an environment, a condition that is outside and from within. And these energy flows are creating, I suppose, a sphere of peace. This the dome of peace in and around ourselves. And Mr. Keshe always said that the moment this technology is brought forward, you've touched it, you've experienced it, it affects all of us. It's absorption. So, if we are absorbing it on a physical level in the structure of the skin, if you're physical, but you're also absorbing this on a soul level and expanding tremendously. And this is creating new field dimensions and new conditions for us to experience a much bigger, as we've spoken about many times, bigger totality. And that totality starts from in the seed of intention, from an atom. And then from there, one hydrogen atom could fill a universe, as Mr. Keshe teaches. So can you imagine that if you can change one cell in your body to become peaceful, to expand, and to create, to turn the plasma on in the right way with the ethos, then this will expand out and become the whole universe. Now you understand how you can be responsible for many, many, many different souls as you gain the knowledge and create in your environment. So understand the responsibilities of being present, receiving the knowledge, and then sharing the knowledge across the planet to the race of man and to each and every created being. The presence of this knowledge is so vast, is unlimited, and we are just starting to understand we all have an understanding of our part of it. And it will change galaxies and universes because of our elevation, our enhancement to that we've created by receiving the knowledge. We now are creating an environment around ourselves and expanding this out, the consciousness, the elevation, the soul aspect, and it is touching much larger spheres. So it starts the smallest, and the smallest is where the real significance and the power is, being that humble that you can give more. And we all know that when you open up the structure of something, that space gap in the middle is where the energy flows. And so by understanding this, we are creating communities all around us by the interactions. So, as you receive the knowledge, you expand it and you give it, you transmute it and let others receive it as well. Then you are raising the elevation of not only yourself, but your community, your family, and your nations, the planetary structure, we're becoming universal beings that are present with the knowledge. And the knowledge is the most incredible gift, and it will be possible for each and every one of us to receive this in exchange for peace. And I think we are coming to this moment of transmutation, of understanding the condition of the presence of whatever you need the creator to show themselves as, in the manifestation of the beauty that will create, as it says on the graphic, it will end all hunger, all suffering, all wars, because that element of us has been balanced. And then we have the possibilities to go further, to see much more of the understanding of the creation that is present within us, and we are coming to the knowledge aspect of being present, as I've said many times. And I know the universal community will have a very big celebration for humanity when we reach this maturity of understanding. So let's together take that, as it says on the screen, the next step. Thank you, Rick. Thank you all for listening.
Okay, thank you, Dean. And there's no other comments. We'll move to the next part here, which is the presentation of the Christmas mystery packs. Again, this is an excerpt from the 617th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And I will play that now.
Anyone who would like to place an order for the Christmas package, 1st of December, which is next Sunday, not this Sunday, is the final day for orders, that everything can be taken out and be delivered. As we received a large number of orders, it has to be stopped, as we'll not be able to produce to meet the orders. And these carry different ganses. In the coming weeks, as we promoted the sugar cup and other cups, we will introduce an interesting concept as being tested in other part of the world for certain pleasures and certain behaviors and certain ways as what we call accessories. Like we release what is known as like a beads, where the monks wear, but with a specific target kind of purpose. As usual, it will be connected to, and these are done on the back of the other tests, successful tests in different parts of the world and the way we work. And so you will see what we call very much like the paint pen. You will have like monk's weed for sweetness and for what we call pressure. In the coming weeks, the paint pen, which has been traditional blue paint pen, will change to a transparent pen. And it'll be very colorful, and it brings a new dimension, maybe more powerful than the pens we released. So this solves a problem for like certain nations do not allow liquid which is the containment of the pens, to be transported across. Now we bring it into a solid state with much more effect, deeper effect, and this takes around the process of a lot of transferring liquids for given purposes. Very much is the process of the technology in daily useful things, very much like plates and trays. And you have seen the first of these in Christmas packages, where Christmas trays have been released, and any other things, but which carry, which we started with what we call the table mats. This sector will be increased drastically, and many of you who are resellers or want to be resellers will let you to promote this very extensively. And these are all part of the Christmas package. The same has been done. It was done with the Halloween and before with different articles. Now we're bringing into application of, like as we see the chest. The chessboard is not a normal chessboard, is extremely heavily pointed, that a game of war, which this chessboard has been, to make a man of peace with those who actually want to play the game, but the essence of how will you feel when you play this board game as being a battlefield and trying to win, would it become different way, and you find different emotion in it as you hold each key. This is a structure which we'll follow, and then we will see step by steps. Hiding the peace, hiding the balance, emotion and other things through what we call the games and the rest of it. Changing the thoughts. Would you still have the same emotion when you play this game, which is made for a chance of peace? To fight this, would you touch this chessboard? And what would be the pleasure of? I'm standing here. If you want, we play together. We don't kill. This is part of the same structure in what is to come as a game on the what we call consoles, which we call the units that you can play to earn what we call coins, cash coins as a reward for playing to create peace. Would this chessboard bring that game, that kind of emotion back? And this is how we bring a new dimension into the work of the Keshe Foundation, and this is how it'll be. I have one announcement to make. If you have organizations, companies, which are involved in production, in sale, or you produce some products that technically acceptable to us as the what we call cash GANs products, we have started acquiring and making you partners with the Keshe Foundation organization in 2 points around the world. And you can contact us. That it brings you new expansion. And if your research, if what you do adds to our work, we bring you in to be part of the work of the cooperation in 2 locations around the world. In a way, we bring you in as a research and developer of the technology which you want to develop or you have developed. You have to be well established in this game, that we just don't bring you in or you don't join us into our structure just for the fun of it, as we had other knowledge seekers. We want those who had the time, that have qualified, and need our biggest support to be part of the biggest structure too, for their work to become international game. Not those who copy and just make ganses and or sell little gas tools. If you have achieved something with your structure, with your research, with your development, and you're looking for that breakthrough, Keshe Foundation is prepared to bring you and facilitate that step for you as part of the structure of the Keshe Foundation. You done research in God knows whatever, and not just produce, replicate, making answers. There's a big difference. And we know a number of knowledge seekers have done that, and they're looking for finance for somebody to help them to big, to structure. We offer you that opportunity. Contact us, we'll have a look, we see, and if we see you have a stride, you have come up with a new idea, a new solution, new school of thought, using partial arc technology with the other matter state technologies, which creates a new position, new what we call structure to expand the knowledge and technology, we are prepared to back you and bring you into as a structure. Maybe as part of the market cooperation of the United States, and maybe in another dimension, in another country where we bring you in to become part of. You stay independent, you stay on your own, but we support you, we give you the ground, and at the same time we share the process with you, and in a way we allow you to make a structure, if you want, that you be part of the bigger structure for development and research. So if you've done some work, can show it does work, can show it is there, but you want to find a finance to finance, it could be anything from agriculture to health to wellness to energy, whatever. We see it viable. We are now in that process of, we gave you the knowledge free, you worked on it, now you can bring the knowledge back to benefit by it. We have already come to agreement with a few of the knowledge seekers in this place, in this dimension, and now it's internationally open to you. You become part of the market cooperation of the United States. If we see your work is, if you're in other countries, we see your fit, we invite you to do the research with us, and we create you the bigger expansion of the fields for collaborating with other knowledge seekers in the same fields and working in the same research and development. We go ahead. What's next?
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Keshe. I did find that video, but you've pretty much covered it, especially the part about the chess set. You had some interesting comments about that, and you reiterated them here today. So that was quite interesting. I was going to mention that on the news yesterday, in the Canadian news, they showed people playing what's called ultimate frisbee, and the teams were made up of Palestinians and Israelis, and they're both playing together this this game of frisbee, and they do that regularly, whether they're under air raid sirens or other distractions that are going on, and different political sides back and forth and so on, and you know, everybody sort of arguing back and forth, but they're having a friendly game between them. And I thought that was interesting use of gaming to bring people together, and essentially that's what you have in mind with this chessboard. What if we got all the world leaders to just have a big chess match, and and but they had to use the GAN's pieces? That could be interesting.
No, it brings what I call emotional conflicts. I'm supposed to kill to win, but I'm supposed to create a peace. How can I find a way to come peace with the guy without killing it? It's a very contradiction in essence, but that's how it works. Though it should be. Most of the what you call, as far as I know, these products you see are already part of the stock which is getting delivered for the Christmas, what we call packages. And as I said, the packages is the last time we, what do you call, the last date for it is the 1st of December if you want the Christmas, what we call products.
Okay, back to our program here. Some lovely products for Christmas. Now it's transmutation time. And that's with Moshfek, I believe. Perhaps Shweta too.
Okay, I am here again, and I'm also logging in from my computer because I'm going to show some pictures. Anyway, so just to set the context, I described this creator, the beautiful woman who made an amazing dress with fringes, lace fringes that are exquisite. So we are going to delve a little deeper into that image. Specifically, in this case, we are going to talk more about the lace itself. The lace, the physicality aspect of the creator, the woman. So the lace has these intricate patterns often, you know, and there is those who have woven laces with their hands in making crochet patterns and things. They're familiar with these symmetric patterns. There are flowers in there, which is again symmetrical usually. And then there is those machine-made laces. Those are more intricate, but you know, because of the, what do you call it, the finer capacity of the machines. So these laces are, we are drawn to them. They're very fascinating to look at. I mean, all of us like it in one way or another. And interestingly, these lace patterns are, in a way, our innate ability to recognize field configuration of matters, the inertial field. Nobody has told us anything about why the laces are so nice, but we all like the symmetric pattern. The symmetry in anything, even in our physical construction, we like symmetries. Symmetry is called, you know, usually people whom we call beautiful, they're usually very symmetrical in their face or various other structure. Even people who walks very straight and symmetrical, we like that a lot, even in motion. So symmetry in both physical construction as well as motion, movement, these are things we are drawn to. These are our innate recognition at the emotional level as creator. And we see these symmetric patterns on our skin. The hexagonal pattern that Mr. Keshe talked about, if we put a magnifying lens on our skin. But in addition to hexagonal pattern, we also see pentagons in there, because, you know, hexagonal pattern creates very nice flat surfaces, as we see often in beehives. And these hexagonal patterns are next to each other. But because our skin on our arm or wherever it is, usually it has curvature there. And there are transition patterns such as pentagons in there. And this we actually have, it has been discussed in the Knowledge Seeker workshop in the construction of football, where you have a mix of pentagons and hexagons. And that's how you create the surface of the football or soccer ball for our American friends. Now, so these are these are examples of these kind of patterns coming together and forming surfaces. Now, the story is much deeper than we suspect. So our innate recognition or appreciation for these kind of patterns is not accidental. I'm going to right now share a screen, share an image. Let's see whether I can share it. Okay. So this is an image of a kind of like a lace-like structure. Now, this comes from the work of a scientist who is not well known. His name is Edwin Mueller. And he published this work in around in 1969, and the book is the publication that where it was published is out of publication right now, but thanks to internet and various other sources, we can get to it now. But when it was published, our scientists who do not understand the magnetic field structure of iron, or for that matter, any other material, of course, did not pay attention to it because it was beyond their understanding. Now that we know plasma science, we can take a fresh look at these old pictures, these were done by essentially exposing, this particular one was for, exposing ion fields, ions to these. This is an iron, surface of an iron plate. And ions were projected to or sent to the surface. And where you see spaces is where the atoms, iron atoms, were repelling the ions, and where you see darker areas is where the ions are being absorbed. Now here you also see hexagonal pattern, but unlike the beehives, here the hexagonal patterns are connected to each other with triangles. And this is the structure of the iron, the familiar iron we know of, the iron that creates magnet. So this lace that we are so familiar with exists even in iron. So as I was talking when I was talking about transmutation, we talk about transmuting to a limit of cellular level for biological construction. But if we are to create a piece of iron plate, we have to get to this level that is shown in this image of the limit of the inertial field we have to get to. So can we manifest an iron plate? Yes, we have to do what is being shown here. The inertial field that will create this pattern in iron. So the lace that that woman has on her dress is just this. It's not a new something that we have learned in 1969. And now that we are familiar with plasma science, we can handle this kind of thing. And now I will show you another example of it. And this was done in China. This is the pattern, the inertial pattern of the gold using ion field interaction. So you have two examples. On one side, you can see the lace-like pattern. It's in gold. And so if you want to manifest gold, you know what to do. So we may go a little further about these things in the plasma reactor group meeting tomorrow. But in order to create this pattern of, let's say, attraction and repulsion, we have to create this, again, the emotion of joy and sorrow, but at a scale, in case of iron and gold, of a different level than what we do when we create our manifestation. So when we are transmuting, so this is important too, when we are transmuting, we have to get our clothes with us, and we don't want to show up without the clothes, and especially considering the condition of this planet, wherever we go. So we have to do that part too. This is a hint towards, we have to take our clothes with us, kind of deal. So as you can see, just to make things a little bit memorable, scientists, those who have been investigating or in this case avoiding these things, they are, this woman, beautiful woman, walking in a beautiful dress and with this wonderful lace. And these scientists are at such a distance that they don't see the motion of this woman correctly. So they're not positioned to neither observe the lace, nor the dress, nor the woman. So what happens is they're in such a position that they get get kicked by the woman walking by. So they're groveling in the dirt without understanding the basics of it. But we, those of us who are dealing with plasma science, we can go to the correct distance, we can examine the lace, and then we can step back and see the whole beauty of the woman walking with this beautiful dress. And the meaning of that beauty completely changes in the whole situation, and we have attraction at a different level, and we all know about this one. So this is another way of looking at transmutation and the beauty of transmutation, the beauty of the lace and the beauty of the woman. Thank you very much. That will be all for today.
Thank you, my dear Moshfik. So beautifully explained. And we are just transmuting like that the lace that has been torn out from the clothes of life and living. We are again spinning them and working on it to create every torn out piece, to adjust again, to join again, to stitch again beautiful laces. Thank you. The soul, the beautiful unified field of the soul. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Mosh.
Okay, we have the Game of Enlightenment Network Systems and Mark Corporation, and announcements from the 617th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And this one's about 25 minutes, so take that into account, and we'll have a look or listen and a look at some of the products and systems that Mr. Keshe and the Keshe Foundation have been putting together recently. Okay, here we go.
I sent you something very interesting, Rick, and this has happened in the past few hours. I have just signed a large number of these, as we've done with the other side, but this is sold. It'll be popping out on the, what we call a Chinese Keshe Foundation website, or you can go wait for it till the, what we call, our webmasters put it up sometime, maybe today, tomorrow. The Chinese books of the Keshe Foundation. The 3 books have been completed and has been marketed as of today. There is in a language, a simple Chinese language, or in the what we call the traditional language, and it is now. I send it to you. Is in the hardback and in the what we call the softback in the Chinese language. It's the first time it's done by the reputable Obertold publication in China, and you can order the set as it is. And it is very nice. It's just been released today for the Chinese, or those of you who like to have a Chinese version of the book. It's sold as a set of 3. And hopefully our webmasters will put it on the English side, which goes directly delivered by the Chinese side of the Keshe Foundation operation.
Okay, let me get that image up here.
This is a lot of work by the Chinese community. They collectively have done a lot of work to get this done, all corrected, and it's the first time you see the official Keshe Foundation. It's mostly it's a hardback with a very hard, what you call it, cover. I've just signed a batch of these today to go out. And if you're Chinese or you like to keep the Chinese version of, it's now available from now on. Any question?
Congratulations on that. That's a lot of Chinese people have been waiting for a while on that, I bet.
Yes, we have the same thing. We're waiting for the English, what they call it, the German and the French, and the rest to be done. Gradually, we're getting there, but these things takes a lot of time to be done. It's been worked on by the new head of the Keshe Foundation. He's done a lot of work with the team behind him to deliver these completed, and it's absolutely beautiful to see it in such a hard back and very professionally done. The hopefully first batch of the communication units, which you all participating in, should be out in next, God knows, we received the first, I think 7 or 8 was, we have already worked the first 10. The first 25 is getting released in the next few days or hours. And then once we load it, 25 of you will receive this in the coming days. And then you have to, you receive the antennas with it. We want to know, at least for a few weeks, how the emotion, now you're part of the network of knowledge seekers receiving you are used to receiving the internet waves, Wi-Fi and the rest of it. How would it affect you in being part of the what we call Earth community for this? We are choosing selectively, especially to cover the maximum area on this planet that we can connect in the first 25. And then watch how these 25 for a few days or weeks, they interact. We want to see what we change now. For example, you're in this program, you're in this teaching, and we are, as those of you who are panelists, you can see the systems are open and now you're receiving a lot of energy. We're monitoring you on our systems. How your family, how you people in your area, in your place, now that you're connected across this planet together to one central system, one system which gives you the data for the game, for the coins, for knowledge, and the other one is connected at the same time to the field emotion, the conversion of the field energies, communication, connection of you lot together. We're feeding you both in the physicality and dimension of energy together now with the system. How your people in the home, your people in your city change. What do you notice? Or is it just you, because you have a system, you want to feel that way it is? And then in January, the next batch will go out. And then the next batch goes out. And now we are in the process of delivering. The manufacturers wants to deliver to us. I think it should be tomorrow or sometime next couple of days. And then we load up the software. Then we send you initially the mechanicals and what we call this the physical system that is like an internet. The game plays when you receive the second part, which you have to add to it, and then we bring physicality and the energy together in one system. How does it work? How would it bring changes? And once we feed the system by itself, that you are independent of any energy source. So the system physically as an internet system and the system as an energy system in a dimension of plasma come together in one box, and then you have you lot around. How does it work? We pinpoint to the point of accuracy to the nations, the places we send it to, and we watch the protocol, the dimension of the reactions, field changes. And then the next lot, and the next lot, till we reach the 10,000 unit, which our specialists think is the balance field. I watch the internet informations which is coming out in hacking and destroying, and I keep on seeing, I post it to our team and say, this is why we're using this unit, because then we cannot be done this to us and that to us. That's the new way. So do we go with our communication side on the computer side, link up with the emotion side, link up with the energy side, and bring a new dimension that you first 25 will bring the change across this planet. Units go from South Africa to Australia to China to South America to North America, across Europe, in Asia, and then we'll see how things change. What happened to the next 25? And then we build up a network. You look for how we can cover the data. If we get hacked, we looked at the energy side of the system cannot be hacked, because it's there to give, it's there to bring the change. And this is interesting, because what we set out 20 years ago in patterns and the rest, now has become a reality. Would we, as in the dimension of you're looking at what data comes into these boxes, us in controlling the information data energy side, decide to release the energy of peace right across this planet, even with 25 of you. Then next month, 50 of you, the month after, 100 of you. How, as you are spread across this planet, create a new sphere of peace? It's pulsed on you. This is not a dream anymore. You paid for it. We are delivering it. We are delivering the field strength of peace to every inch of this planet. The dog receives it, the king receives it, the man receives it ill in the hospital, and what enlightenment will bring us. This is not theory, it might happen. You supported us, and we are making it to happen. We still need a lot of support to make the 10,000 to be there. And hopefully step by step we get there. Because now, once the system go out, once our antennas go in, the pulse of peace and the beacon of peace will go out 24 hours a day. Day and night. what effect will have on our world leaders, what effect have on the dog, on the fish. I said recently, I wish one of the knowledge seekers had a submarine become buried in the sand and beacon it to change the citizens of the water world. In the coming time, in our negotiations with some nations, we asked them to take one of these into space. And this is how the process will start. And this is how we will structure our future collectively. It's not a talk anymore. It's that beacon of creating world peace will start beating. The first 10 sets to do the physical side. This setup is getting done. Now, the first 25 in the next couple of weeks. And then it comes the physical side and the emotional side. Would we create a physical dimension which has emotion as part of it, as part of the structure of the system? Would somebody come to hack it, first get hit by the energy of peace? Forget about it, cannot do it. This is the reality of us. And a fact of if we can create this pulse of peace, we know exactly how to create it. If you bought any Christmas products or Halloween products, part of the package of the ornament you receive carries peace energy. The chessboard carries the peace energy. Now, if we can change that in your hand, now with the delivery of the cosmic ray antennas, we can deliver it to the system and we can create that change. What does the cosmic ray of universe has had on us as a race, as a planet, and the citizens of it being a dog, the tree, the man, and the rest of it. And we will see. Hopefully before the end of this year, next 4 or 6 weeks, the first beacons of peace, 25 of them, will go across this planet. And we shall see. And you are hit by it, you don't have a line to escape. Any other question?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. You have a kind of a tough question from Marco from the Brazilian community. It says COP30, which is taking place in Brazil, has the mission of developing sustainable energy sources. Why is the Keshe Foundation not participating, since it would be an opportunity to showcase plasma science?
We're not invited. And secondly, do we want to be in that position? Yesterday we received an invitation from the Austrian government section to participate in CERN, in the exhibition or whatever, first time ever. When we went to the site, they want €3,000 per ticket. Are they there to share the technology? Are they there to make money? And I said to myself, we are sharing knowledge, everything free, 7 days a week. Where shall we put the price on it? They say you come and learn, blah, 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 blah. But it's we're not invited. No, we really don't get into that.
And if you look in these kind of things, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of millions are asking for your name to be there or you participate in it. Any other question?
Okay, thank you. We have a sort of a challenge question from Hong. It says, "Dear Mr. Keshe, could you, in an overview fashion, weave together the following: energy, mass, inertia, soul of the man, soul of the physicality, emotion, cosmic rays, hydrogen, and transmutation, and speak to them as a whole?"
Yeah, call it the man.
Okay.
It's got all of it and has a brain. You can talk to it, but it doesn't listen. As I was talking about this unit, we know in the inertia of love, we have developed, we understand it how. And I had to go through a session of deep thinking in the past few days in what is love and how do you love a person. And it came to my head that, as I said, we send the frequency of peace. Why not to use, we have the opportunity to let the whole world fall in love with each other. What game that will play. Subconsciously on the televisions, as we know, years ago, they played one flash of Coca-Cola and everybody got up and went to have a Coca-Cola and they made it illegal. What about now in the dimensional field of energy, plasmatic energy, we send the pulse of love. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how will affect the humanity. Would we change? Because nobody is immune anymore to the game we'll play of peace, hunger, and everything else. As I said before, if our team completely delivers what it is, and we bring in scientists around the world to do this, we got you by the short and careless, as we say in English. There is no way left. There is no path left. Gradually to share. If you notice a few years ago, we went out with a message that we want to set up a structure with the Chinese government to bring both scientists to be that we can share the knowledge. And within a few weeks after that became the attitude of the Chinese government, that sharing the technology, sharing the knowledge. Nothing is coincidental. Now, what about if once we create a pulse of peace, and then it's 10,000 of these units, and you're hammered every day, instead of getting up to get a Coca-Cola, kiss your neighbor, fall in love with the tree, and the tree falls in love with you, which has a soul, and the dog is biting you, comes and kisses you. Can we do that? It's possible. We're on the verge of breakthrough science. We are not theoretical because these units, as you see, is built. The antennas is getting built and they're getting connected, and they're all connected to one central system that sends the message of love and peace. Who's going to jump it? Would it even start working with the 25? Would it be one
in the centers of the governments, each unit, London, Washington, Tehran, Los Angeles, Brazil, Mexico, South Africa. And these waves, as they connect these units together, pass the soul of world leaders. Would we see the change of the soul? We hear new communications say, now suddenly become, but doesn't even say it's just because the Keshe Foundation released this and there's, in a way, you're beating on the head of it, peace, 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 love, 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 love. And the energy of the soul in a plasmatic way. We don't need to take the credit. We are there to facilitate. As I said, if I do it, it becomes us. We are doing it. You knowledge seekers are paying for this unit to bring that position. And we are there. I'm sure some of you, once you receive the unit, you put it on your testimonial. You put it on, I've received my unit. These units, in so many ways, will connect it directly into the cosmic ray balls you received. So those of you who bought the cosmic ray balls, you are becoming the beacons of another connection in the link of. Game is extensive. This is played very directly. Would the world leaders will just talk about a peace? Would the world leaders bring that change? You are the knowledge seekers. Your universal points, cosmic ray balls, all connect to each other. Without you knowing, you got yourself in a big mesh of changing humanity. Now, when we tested those units with Thursday sessions and once a year Friday sessions, and you wrote, I feel peaceful, I feel this and that. Now, what you felt is beacon across this planet. That's why we stopped the monthly sessions, because I achieved what I wanted and confirmed the process. You lot fell in love, you stopped addictions and everything else. All I need when the 25 unit goes to 50 to 100 to 10,000, send the same energy fields. We know what's this to be in the plasmatic condition of the addiction. Do we need to invade another nation, accusation of the drugs when there are no customers for it? Don't need to. Now you see how extensively you helping us to put these units across this planet will bring that. The computers will give you the sense of physicality. The cosmic ray antennas will bring the play of the game of the soul, and then everything goes as it should be. As I said, let's play the game. The game has started. And I thank the team in the background who's working to bring this together. From different nations, different cultures are working in the background to make this possible. And I thank them from every effort we've done and every support they have given day and night to bring in. And you will see as humanity the result of their work.
Checking for sound.
Yes,
Thank you,
I can
Mark.
hear.
Microphone on now. Yes, now we can move into our next part. Let me get to the presentation here. And I guess this is the message of the week from the community with Andreas and Mark.
Okay, I don't see Andreas, but it was his idea to have a celebration of the birth of the daughter of Mitra, which will happen on December 6th. You're all invited. I believe it's at 1400 CET or 2. So calculate your time. I think it's a Saturday, and it does appear the meeting will be about 90 minutes. It's not going to be for hours, but you're all invited to bring gifts in a way to celebrate or to share this birth of the new child and the new dimension, again, made out of the fields of the universe. And Mitra will have quite a bit of knowledge. As I mentioned earlier, Mr. Keshe said he's here just to do sort of the rough work, and Mitra will bring us home. And I think we're all going to fall in love with this daughter of Mitra. So you're all invited, but I noticed it'll be in the public Zoom room, Rick. That's this number here. So will you be hosting this, or will someone else?
Yes, indeed. I'm
Very
involved.
well. Good.
Part of the celebration. And so, yes, inviting everyone, all souls from everywhere, and bring your physicality if you can.
And so it's in the public meeting room. It's open to everyone, not only knowledge seekers or Universal Council members, but everyone. So you're all invited to attend. And again, it's just a brief meeting of about 90 minutes. So let's look forward to that and promote this in the next week or so.
Yes, well, and if anyone would like to contribute to this program, they can send their stream, or maybe you have a timestamp that you'd like to contribute something to do with this birthday of Mitra's daughter. Mr. Keshe has talked about that in previous workshops, and maybe you have a short excerpt that's perfect for the show that may have been overlooked. You can send your contribution to Andreas Fugger at he's on Telegram. Not sure how else you might be able to get a hold of him, but you can do it through the any of the Universal Council members and support members as well. So they're looking for contributions that way. And
I think it'll be a beautiful energy. We may not see the daughter in the physicality, but I think we'll start to feel the fields of this daughter of Mitra created out of the fields of the universe. And with the knowledge, and I think Mr. Keshe was indicating, we're all going to fall in love with the daughter of Mitra.
Yes, it's a bit mysterious, but hopefully we'll have some clarification of that whole event and what it's about during this meeting. And
Yes,
Saturday the 6th at 2 p.m. Go ahead.
Yes, Saturday the 6th. Yes, yes. I'm also welcoming every soul in existence to join the celebration of birth of daughter of Mitra so beautifully. We will enjoy together, and an outstanding, overwhelming a feeling of love. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, beautiful souls.
All right. Well, I think it's time to move into our needs and wishes part of the program. And I believe we'll have a 30 seconds of silence to implement each need and wish that we have verbalized here.
Yes, my dear Rick. Thank you. Thank you so much. We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflicts in Sudan and other areas only by greed with unconditional love and inner peace, so that they respect the lives of all population because they are sovereign and free. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. And our wish is our command, and we are present.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and of population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give freely our soul to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East now. And our wish is our command, and we are present.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul the protection of those living in fear in natural disaster areas, and our soul wish to help cover all the emotional and physical needs.
Thank you, my dear Rick, the key, my dear beautiful souls. We are here to serve, not to be served. Celebrate the being we are. Celebrate the birthday of daughter of Mitra. Celebrate all that is love. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I welcome you again. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the beautiful energy. Beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome to the beautiful energy of universal souls, all we are. Welcome to the beautiful souls, all in existence, beautiful souls. So, be in love, be in peace, be in abundance, always. So, thank you. Thank you for being here always, dear beautiful souls. The Universal Council. Join, love, come home. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
Very good. Thank you, Sweta. And thanks, of course, to all the members and support members of the Universal Council who are always there for their presence in on Earth to help with this transition time that we are encountering now. And I think it's becoming more and more important as we go along, and we'll see continuous results of peace as time progresses here. It's amazing. It's a great connection today to see the peace being seriously considered between Ukraine and Russia at that very time we were talking about the peace treaty. I think that was perfect. So thanks everyone for today's 406 One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. There was a question in YouTube from Tender about how to build up from that diamond structure when referring back to the patterns and the lace that Moshfek was talking about. And I would suggest you might be able to get more information about that in the Keshe Plasma Reactor group, which is our next public teaching workshop coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, November 26th, starting at the 7 a.m. Central European time. We usually go for 4 or 5 hours in that program. And it's for folks that would like to get into more depth on some of the plasma technology or have questions or things you'd like to present. That's a good avenue to do that. And again, that's 7 a.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, November 26th. All right, I think that's it. Well, we have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop, of course, coming up on the 27th, and that will start at the usual 9 a.m. Central European time, as we've been accustomed to for many years now. Okay, let's move on to our end video.
Yes, of course. Celebrate with some dance and clap, dear ones.
Thank you for your enthusiastic announcement there.
Thank you, my dear. Yes,
And
blessings, blessings, my dear. Thank you. Clap, clap, and dance.
yes, indeed. We'll go with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version once again. And again, thank you everybody for attending, and for especially for the Universal Council for presenting the workshop and developing it. Okay, bye everyone. See you next time.